Hi, and welcome to the Sudden Death Checklist, podcast number 6. I'm Jason Holman. I'm here today with Jack Veale. Jack has over 30 years experience in working with small and closely held family-owned businesses with ownership and management succession issues. Welcome to the podcast, Jack.
Thanks, Jason, and thank you everyone for making it this far and appreciate you listening and learning. In this section, we're going to be talking about veterans, and it's in chapter 8 and on in the sudden death checklist for business owners, and it's in chapter 7 for the executor and trustee checklist. The the number one thing that I would like you all to have in your mind is if you listen, if you have a veteran, the one thing that is important is that they have a current form DD 214, and with that form and it's up to date, you will find the paperwork process will speed up. If you do not have a DD 214, it's going to take a long time, and you may not have that, but it's going to take a long time. And so it is important you complete many of the forms correctly to avoid delays. One little misstep, and you're going to be behind by weeks. So that's why we're suggesting that you go through this checklist separately from everybody else, because if you're a veteran, you should be doing all this work now. So the caution is that there are very long waits and slow replies as the volume of applications is getting higher and higher due to COVID-19. And I can only tell you that if you should be getting all these forms together, and you're going to need to do it through a form called SF 180. And if you file it by phone, or I mean not by phone, by fax or by email, it's going to take you time. They only accept it uh, through certain channels, and one of them is, believe it or not, ebenefits.va.gov. So if you haven't done anything yet, and you don't have a current copy of the DD 214, I suggest you go do that right now and sign into eBenefits and make that work. And while you're there, go look at the burial benefits and see what if you want to be in a national cemetery. It could take you 6 to 9 months, maybe even a year, to get into the cemetery you want, and it just takes a long time. So apply now for the pre-need burial eligibility, and and see where you are on that wait list. We provided many of the forms in our checklist in section 8 or 7, depending which book you have, covering burial benefits, survivor benefits, headstone, and flag benefits too. All these if you want a flag, you got to fill a form. If you want a headstone, you got to fill out another form. All these forms have to be filled out. After the funeral, there are a number of resources we cover in our checklist to ease the pain and sadness of the veteran's passing. The survivor benefit plan. Is your spouse going to get covered? If so, you need to have both histories. You need to set up, if you're a current active duty member, TRICARE, you need to fill out as well. And there are other opportunities for benefit, including support services such as VA bereavement counseling, VA crisis hotline, and depression hotline, just to name a few. This concludes our series of covering the sudden death checklists for business owners, family executors, and family trustees. As a business owner, your most important legacy is having a performing successor. If not, leave a plan for your family to execute upon your death. As an executor, it is important that chapters 1 through 4 are clearly understood, and that you are a co-signer of all financial accounts and have access to the logins and passwords. As a trustee, it's important that your trust is operational and funded, and you are managing the assets as well as the trust administration.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you all for taking the time to be with us today. Take care.